Hello and welcome to another episode of FPL Expectations with me, Craig. Yes, game week 11 is a few hours away, so we still have time. Hence why we're doing such an early show, not right on the deadline, but just a few hours before, so you can get all the advice, can absorb all the knowledge that my expert panel is going to give to you today. And when I say expert panel, I mean the one and only Zhou. How you doing, mate?
Good. Just can't wait to be back in FPL and some real dilemmas this week, especially with the benching options.
Yeah.
It's all over Twitter.
I gotta say, it's an honor to have you on this late. We never have the luxury of doing that, but the advantages of being off, from work for the whole week. And of course, Nitro, always a pleasure to have you on the show, mate.
Thank you for having me again. Yes, as Joe said, a lot of dilemmas. I'm still not entirely certain, but that's why we're here. We're here to talk it out.
Yeah, and I'm still not entirely over last week. Game week 10, an absolute disaster for me. But I want to know, how did you boys do? I mean, we'll start with you, Nitro, since we're on you. I mean, you're right up there. I mean, when we talk about right up there in terms of OR, I mean, you're there. How did game week 10 affect your rank?
Surprisingly, it went pretty well despite benching White and Smith Rowe. I say I'm pretty blessed the start of the season with the momentum. I think it was a really big green arrow, if I remember correctly. I was 8K before, which is already really good, and I got bumped up to 3K. So I think, I think holding on to Ronaldo really helped. But yeah, my game week went really well. So it will be interesting to see how we fare this time around.
And Joe, was it a green arrow week for you, or was it a red arrow week for you?
Yeah, maybe if you can pull out the team.
I will do in just a bit. Before we get into it, I just want to touch on how your game week was.
Green.
Yeah, just tease them a little bit, Joe. So they won a little bit more and they'll stay on a little bit longer.
Okay, let me just see. I think my green arrow is not as huge as Nitro's, but still green nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean that's all we want, really, isn't it? Green arrows every weekend, and we can't really complain. But we're going to touch on that a little bit more. We're going to dive into your team, Joe, and tell us how big of a green was green.
Let me just see. I started the week before with 45K, and ended up on 39K. So
okay, that's a 6K green.
Yep, Ramsdale, my hero.
Oh, come on!
Don't even talk to me about Arsenal anymore. The amount of times I get burned by that is unbelievable. Oh god! Yeah, go on.
I remember mentioning on the stream. I said I'm going to start Ramsdale. I can just see him being so passionate. And true enough, he delivered. I think one of the performance of the season against one-man team against the whole Leicester firing range, So
can I just say on this, right? I mean, Ramsdale, absolutely monster of a performance. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but I mean, of all games, Leicester. I mean, you always back them to score a goal or at least a goal.
I have Vardy too, So
and his record against Arsenal, and we got all these stats, and Leicester were getting through. They were. I thought first half they were outplayed, but second half they really came out. And I don't think they could have done more apart from put the ball in the back of the net. They did everything.
Exactly.
But what an inspired performance by Ramsdale.
Yep. I mean, after that match, I was so excited. Like he could have gotten 11 points. But he did his 8th save and he just missed one more to get an extra point. But I mean, I'm taking it double digits, man. Havertz finally returned. And assists by providing a penalty to Jorginho. Armstrong finally returned as well. I mean, I actually watched the Watford against Southampton match. So frustrating to watch as an owner. He had so many chances, and he did a lot of shots. I think 6 shots, if I'm not mistaken, none on target. And then he provided two great chances, which one Adams scored, and then another cross, I think, almost goal as well. So he was really, really involved, really lively. I'm just hoping, even though Broja is fit and training, just hoping that Armstrong can hold the starting spot. I think first match later on. So hoping for the best. Raphinha, another hero, could have gotten 10 points if it wasn't for that last ditch tackle, I think from Omo. But yeah, 9 points, couldn't complain.
Yeah, so I mean the Armstrong one. I think it was you that was quite vocal about keeping him. Yeah, you said I'm going to sit, and I think he played 90 minutes during midweek, so there was a bit of concern, whether he's going to play 90 minutes again because he was rested previously to this. But obviously the Broja injury, I think, kind of forced Hasenhüttl's hand a bit. But yeah, a happy enough week for you. I mean, moving up 6K in places, double digits. I mean, really can't complain too much. Good week all round. We'll come to what you're planning to do for game week 11. But Nitro, we're going to come over. Sorry, didn't change the thing. That was Zhou's game week 10 team. Nitro, we're going to jump over to yours quickly. Tell us about your team in game week 10.
Just before we get into it, apologize if anyone heard my dog barking. She wants to go outside, but that's sorted. Okay, looking at game week 10. I think the standout thing that's grabbing everyone's attention is the Ronaldo haul. Did not expect that at all. So he's kind of saved the game week a little bit with who did he play again? It was Tottenham. So I didn't expect much. And it was away as well, coming off of a pretty bad result against Liverpool. So his assist and goal, I will take it. Least likely to, I didn't expect it from him, but we'll take that. Havertz as well, Salah and Raphinha, the midfield, did all right. Even Benrahma returned, which is unreal. Even Benrahma returned. So that's
when you know it's a good week. He scored 2 last night, though. He seems like he's in form. We'll come to that in a while.
Don't get my hopes up just yet.
We'll come to that in a while.
We'll get to that. Yeah, defense, Livra, Mento, and Chilwell, they did their thing. Fantastic stuff. I don't have Ramsdale, don't have the privilege of having him, but he looked really good. What a guy. Fair play to everyone who owned him. 10 points. But yeah, that's game week.
Not for those who benched him like myself.
Yeah, I know. But same on the flip side for people that were switching out goalkeepers. I do feel for you because Leicester, out of all teams, I did not expect that. So yeah, this is game week 10, 63. It was 8.2 before this, and then it was a huge jump because of Ronaldo to 3K. Wait, it's down here? Around 3K-ish, 3.8.
Wow.
So it is a gorgeous rank. I don't expect to be in this place. I'm privileged because of experts like you guys. So yeah, that's how it is.
You're talking to Zhou there. But how many, off the top, off first place, how many points off are you?
Well, let's pull that up right now. I actually don't really know. I should know this, shouldn't I?
I've been looking at it every day, literally just going like that every day, just refreshing it in case it changes somehow.
On live FPL, to be first place, it's 789 ish, so 72 points ahead, which is still a bit of a stretch, but okay. Yeah, I honestly, being in the top 10K, I will take at this point. I feel like anything in the top 100 is a bit.
I mean, as a finish, you'd take a top 10K.
We'll take a top 10K.
Yeah, I mean that's not even a question. But I mean, again, great week. How many places did you move up?
So 8K ish. Let's go to
8 to 3 was it? So about 5K.
about 8.2, 3.8.
Okay.
So about 5K ish.
About 5K. Yeah, incredible stuff from both of you.
Wow, look at that.
I mean,
Huge
that's why
jump,
we have
man.
you both on the show. That is
Huge
exactly why
jump.
we have you both coming on the show. Really good stuff. Guys, thank you guys for watching as well. Just going to say, if you've got any questions, do drop them in the comments and we'll get them answered later on in the show. Nitro, while we're on you, let's see what you've got in store for game week 11 now. How many free transfers do you have going into this? This is rather large. Let me just try and get that down.
Oh, sorry.
A little bit. No, it's my thing. Let me just. You concentrate on your game week 11 team and tell us what you're doing with that while I sort this out.
Okay, well, I still have my one free transfer. I tweeted out my team saying that I'm probably going to roll, and I think I'm currently still 80 rolling, 20 doing some sort of transfer. I don't really know because the Chelsea double up in defense looks really good,
Yeah.
James, in the case of James. But I don't know. I really don't know. I'm happy with how it looks right now as well. And I do have Livra and Benrahma on the bench. So it's a little bit of a headache. So right now it's no transfers, but yeah, captain on Salah. I mean,
Are you planning on? Are you planning on making any transfers?
You know what? I was thinking about Kane. I was thinking about Kane because he's the only one I can afford. I can't get Son without dismantling the team, so I have to leave him for the wild card. I really want Son, which I think we'll talk about later. Why? But I would really like Son. Kane's
we're touching on that topic now. I mean, just talk us through why. I think the Son Kane debate is always going to be a huge one, regardless of how Spurs are doing. Because obviously Son playing in midfield gets those extra points, and you get the clean sheet points if there is one. But right now, I mean, the situation that Spurs are in, Kane's obviously not firing in blank. Is not firing. Son's popping up with the goals here and there, but they're still not fully functioning as a team. They've got a new manager in charge now. We have a very small sample size, which was last night, and they raced to a 3-goal lead, conceded 2, and the game just got really crazy after that. But I mean, how are we looking at this, guys, with the Son versus Kane debate? Why Son over Kane, or why Kane over Son?
I'll touch on it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think obviously if Conte throws a curveball, we can't expect that, but I think we can expect him to play a 3-5-2, kind of like the situation at Brentford with Mbeumo and Toney, where we have an out of position midfielder who plays up top in the top two. Conte likes his striker partnership, so we could see Kane and Son, which I think will work very well. I think they play well together. And Son would be kind of the Mbeumo who plays a more advanced role. And despite Kane being up top, we tend to see Son's average position drift a little bit higher, which is what we love to see as a 10 million midfielder who gets extra points per goal. So that's kind of why I would prefer Son. And should I play a wild card soon, which I still have intact, Son is definitely one of the names I'm going to grab first because of their fixtures. And of course, by then, I think we have a few games to kind of see how they're playing under Conte. So that's my take on Son. What do you think, Zhou?
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on that. Because, firstly, I think if you talk about form, I think Son is has the form as compared to Kane. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think even yesterday's game, I think Son's average position is higher. It's the furthest forward. Yes, small sample size, but we sort of have the history of how Conte works with Chelsea and Inter Milan.
I mean, just going on that, I mean, just based on what you just said there, I mean, is Conte more of a defensive coach, or is he gonna put a lot of focus onto his attack? Because I mean, Spurs fans for example, aren't really gonna settle for a team that sits back, being compact, defends, and gets the 1-0. They want some attacking football there, I'm sure.
From what I've seen, from what I've gathered, I could be wrong, so feel free to chime in. But I think he tends to play a moderate high line. That doesn't say much, but I know he likes his wingbacks heavily involved, kind of like Jurgen Klopp. So the likes of Reguilon, I think Emerson Royal, Emerson,
Emerson.
he got involved as well in that game, the game midweek. So these wingbacks, I think they're gonna start hitting the market if form starts to pick up. So I guess that could kind of swing in the favor of a more attacking team. Conte likes a lot of shots in the box, so I think we could see a bit more attacking, which obviously boosts the appeal of Reguilon, Emerson, Kane, and Son.
I mean, personally, I could see them being more attacking because I think they have the quality in the attack as compared to their defense, which I think if you want to have the immediate impact, probably he will capitalize on that. Instead, so early in his coaching days in Spurs. I'm looking at the comments now. We have FPL teacher. He joins us, I think, first time. He has a great thread about.
I haven't actually gone to the comments, but I'll go now since you've mentioned it. Which one is it?
Because he has a thread on Conte.
Okay.
On his philosophy. It's a pretty long thread, but it's a very detailed one, and I think he looked back at how Inter formed the partnership between Lautaro, I think.
Lautaro Martinez.
Lautaro, and Lukaku. So we could see that kind of partnership between Kane and Son. If you want to
I'm just trying to think back to his Chelsea days. He only played with one up top, didn't he? It was Morata. I think it was Costa first, then it was Morata. I think.
But I think Hazard was really heavily involved as well. So
Okay.
There's
a detailed thread on Conte's kind of philosophy and the way he manages his team. So I'm just going to actually bring it up again. So guys, if you're out there, you want to know a little bit more about how Spurs are going to work this season, maybe under Conte, taking in his stint at Chelsea, his stint at Inter Milan, do go and follow at FPL_teacher on Twitter. Read his thread. It's very detailed. It's long, but it's good stuff. FPL_teacher, thanks for coming on and joining us on the stream as well. All right, we'll head back to Nitro's team. So, I mean, I'm just looking at it. You're keeping the faith with Havertz after his assist. But home against Burnley, obviously maybe a little bit too good to turn down. Just for the record, I lost patience with him, so he's gone from my team.
Wait, who did you swap him for?
Son.
Okay, that's a very reasonable move.
Yeah. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but I mean, you would keep him home against Burnley, right? But just my luck. Watch out, he'll probably get a hat trick now. No, so that's your team. You're going for 4-4-2. You're settled on this, yeah? Captaincy going with Salah?
Most likely, yes. I think, When in doubt, I hold.
Yeah, fair enough. And that gives you 2 free transfers, yeah?
That'll give me 2, yes.
After the international break. So always very handy to have. Zhou, let's check out what you have in store for us. I mean, let me just sort this out. Sorry. There we go. And that should come up now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Zhou, talk us through your team and how you are going to set up and ahead of game week 11.
So I've actually made a transfer already. I moved Kyle Walker out. I think Kyle Walker, what a
Got
disaster.
injured, didn't he?
Yeah, he, according to Pep, he got a kick, I think during the match against Club Brugge. And Pep wasn't helpful at all in the presser. All he said was, I have no idea. The training is going to happen in a few hours' time. So we practically didn't have any updates prior to the deadline. So I moved him out. I finally brought in James. I'm not sure whether I'm too late or not, but I don't think so. I think since James is rested midweek, I think hopefully he will feature against Burnley and probably do something. But I don't know. I think I might be slightly late to.
I mean, if you're expecting Reece James to score another 2 goals this week, I think might be a little bit hopeful. But I mean, I think the way that Tuchel likes his fullbacks, you've always got a chance with Chilwell and James to get something from the game. I mean, like when it's going to be the same scores as last week, it's very hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, like looking at the 2 goals, it was like. Both are, I think, half volleys, if I'm not mistaken. Really well executed, but I can't see him doing that week in, week out, definitely. Yeah. So just bring him in and hoping for at least a return, maybe.
Sorry, I just want to touch on that. Was it a tough choice between him and Chilwell?
It was. To be honest, it was a tough choice.
Because I just want to say, I mean, Chilwell's obviously on set pieces as well.
Yep, and now Chilwell is probably more nailed because Alonso is out for the match against Burnley after declared injured. So I don't know, but I can feel James probably. I mean, it's really 50-50 for me. I think probably why I got James, probably firstly he's slightly cheaper, but yeah, it was a tough choice, and I went for James, and I hope I don't regret it. I have another transfer right now, and after hearing from Tuchel about Mason Mount, I'm not confident that he will start, and I'm not sure what to do. Whether should I bench Mount, because I have on my bench I have a Duffy, I have Livramento, or should I use my the other transfer? I could get in.
Can I tell you someone who's been going massively under the radar, who I think, I mean, you talk about value and the price tag and that, and the returns that you're getting for it. Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's starting in a very advanced positions.
I know.
While the two men are out, and I mean, he's got returns in the last few games. I mean, is there a possibility of bringing him? I mean, it could be just a one week thing, because I expect Lukaku and Werner after the international break to come back, probably.
Yeah, I am thinking of bringing in a player that I will probably keep longer term.
Okay.
So 2% on my mind right now. I mean, 3 options actually. I could bench Mount, play Duffy, maybe. It's Duffy playing at home against a poor Newcastle side. Or I could bring in, Mbeumo to partner Toney, double up against Norwich. Or I could bring in Diego Jota, same price. Firmino is ruled out with a so-called serious injury. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hamstring. Is it hamstring?
Yeah, hamstring. But I will say this, and managers, I know, are very smart. the injury is always a lot more serious when the international break's coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
Always
Yes.
a lot more serious, and we, especially with the the quarantine restrictions and this,
Yep.
that, the other.
Yep.
It could just be a bit of a little
Could be.
bluff there from Mr. Klopp.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
to get
yeah.
him out of international duty.
Yeah, I mean, especially since Firmino have to travel to South America, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I could bench him and then probably keep one transfer, roll that transfer to bring in Son on game week 12, or I could even bring in Mbeumo now, which will release more funds for me to bring in Son on game week 12 as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tricky situation right now. So I'm still really thinking.
I gotta say though, the Jota one. Once you mentioned that, was sounded quite tasty to me. To be fair.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just about to say, Jota. Now that Firmino is out, Jota
Yeah.
is back. But are we
Yeah.
falling for the trap again?
And he's in form as well. He's in really good form as well.
Oh, but that's the thing, though. I was a
Exactly.
Jota owner as well, and I had to wait so long for the return.
Yeah. I mean, I had him at the start, and then I obviously got off that once Firmino was back. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
recently obviously missed out on those points.
So tricky situation. Still have no idea what to do. I think at least I have 3 hours, but who knows? Maybe I'll do a transfer live in the show.
Yeah. So do stay tuned to Zhou on his social media account and see whether he does make that second change to his team. Going to talk a little bit about captaincy. I know I'm probably stating the obvious here, but Captain Salah as always.
Yep. Definitely Captain Salah.
Just gonna throw it out there. Don't fancy a cheeky Toney captainage against Norwich.
I mean, Brentford's attack, I don't know, recently, doesn't stir much confidence, to be honest.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from for sure. No doubt about Mo Salah and captaincy there. I think that's I mean that looks like a pretty solid team. Depending on what you decide to do with Mount. I will say I wouldn't be too confident with your bench though. Maybe Livramento would be the one that will come in for me, if anything. I think Southampton are playing quite well. Villa are quite poor recently. Yeah. So, but again, early kickoff, so it's always a tough one, isn't it? I know you're not captaining, but yeah, it's always a bit risky. Okay, so I think that's your game week 11 team, Zhou. I mean, there's still that one transfer that could come in later on, and you could be up in about 3 hours' time to tell everyone what you're deciding to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will definitely announce it before the deadline, but still up in the air.
Still pondering. I mean, you still got a bit of time, and we'll go through some of the comments and questions in the comment section, and we'll just see if there's anything. I mean, it might get you thinking a bit if there's anything good out there. But just had it first of all. Thank you for joining the stream. I know it's very late, wherever you are in the world. Well, if you're in Asia, really. But it's very late for us here in Malaysia, 11:30 p.m. So. Just say, Hisham, yep, we are here. We're just doing the show and we come to the questions towards the end of it. So just chill on just a little bit. Nice to have a lot of familiar faces on here. Gavin, you asked, do you think there's a chance Cancelo could be rested? Thinking of playing Diaz ahead of Cancelo. Boys, he's had a lot of football, Cancelo, but Kyle Walker is injured.
Yep. And it's a Manchester derby, so I can't see Cancelo being rested. I think City will put their strongest team.
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
Feel the same way?
I'm not too sure. I haven't been abreast of the João Cancelo news. Is there news that he could be benched? I didn't see much.
I don't think there's news. I think it's just with his minutes. He's played a lot and hasn't really been rested. I think he was rested for 45 minutes the other day, but in the Carabao Cup, I think was it. But they ended up going to extra time. or something like against West Ham I think it was. Really stretching my memory a week back, but yeah, he's been playing a lot of football is the main thing. But the Kyle Walker news makes it a little bit easier for Cancelo owners, I would think.
Yes. Yeah, I think he was rested midweek as well, right? So, I mean, with Pep, we never know. At the end of the day, we'll never
This
know.
midweek, I don't think it was. I think it was the Carabao Cup.
Okay.
Last week that he was rested because he got mad assists during the Champions League this week.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, definitely a player on form. We talk about on form plays.
Triple assists, I think.
Triple assist, right? I know he got 2. I remember the Foden one. I remember the Mahrez one. I don't know if he did Sterling's. I can't remember. But anyway, he got assists regardless. So confident that he'll start.
Yeah, I think so. But it's Pep, so you never know.
I mean, I would say that, but I just can't think who else can play right back.
That's
or
true.
Who else
That's
has
true.
played right back. You know, I think if Walker was there, you know, you'd have some concerns. But again, it's the Manchester derby, so he'd want a strong team out as well, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
So yep, keep Cancelo, play him ahead of Diaz if that is your problem. MX Cross, Foden+Vardy or Son+Toney. I know where I'm looking with this one because I've done those moves. So
yeah, I think Son and Toney.
Yeah, I think Son and Toney for the fixtures.
For the fixtures.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, easy one there. We'll move on. FPL teacher, finally I see you show the man in person. Good evening. And this is why you have not been following us on FPL expectations for the last year. But good to see you finally on here so you can see the beautiful show in person. Yeah, got to give props where it's due, Nick. Wow, what a rank, Nick.
Thank you. That's crazy. I don't know how I'm here, but yeah, we are here.
You are here. FPL teacher also says many would bite your arm off to finish the top 100k nowadays, and that would be me. Gladly would take that right now. Good question for you, Nick. When are you playing your wildcard?
All right. So there's an international break coming up. I think it'll definitely depend on that quite a lot. Okay. It's nice to have that safety net. If I have to dismantle my team completely, I can definitely do so very easily. So I'm thinking 12. As in like after the break, whichever game week that is. I think it's this next one, right? 12.
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
Yeah. So probably 12. Really trying to get Son in. Hopefully we get a bit of information from the Everton game. But yeah, probably 12.
But I mean, like if you're playing on 12, and you're rolling the transfer, wouldn't it be burdened?
Yeah, so that's kind of why I was thinking, I do have a free transfer, right? So I could just do some weird punt, right? But I don't know. There was a lot of uncertainty. So like I said, we have time before the deadline. I could just do a knee-jerk thing. Actually, that's probably not the best thing to do, but I could do something before the...
But honestly, if you ask me, I know it's a transfer burn, right? But it's a wildcard that you're playing.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You know,
I have the flexibility of the wild card, which kind of gives me more leg room. If it doesn't work well, I mean, I have the wild card.
I mean, if it comes to a stage where it's 2 transfers to get Son in, and the rest of your team's fine with no COVID, no quarantine issues and all that. I mean, you'll take a -4 if need be. You know, just to get him in. I mean, you don't have to necessarily use a wild card. But I mean, if it's major operation needed after this game week and after the international break with injuries, COVID, quarantine, then it's obviously, you know, a wild card situation.
I think I tweeted like a while back. It's kind of crazy, but as I was planning a little bit ahead, I was thinking I actually don't need that many transfers, provided my players stay fit. Which is like, well, when am I ever gonna play my wild card? Like game week 20 or something.
If you don't need it, you don't have to.
That's true.
I mean, I know it gets burned, but it's there if you really need to. If your team really needs, you know, work, and you're taking like five transfers out to get a lot of players out. So I mean, if you don't have to necessarily, because you're going to get another one in January anyway. So it's one wildcard that you use throughout the season. So be it.
True. But I think 12 as of now. So so you do bring up a good point. Maybe you know. Could think about a transfer. I just don't know who. That's why I haven't done it yet.
Kane.
It could be Kane, man.
Yeah. But taking Ronaldo out, yeah, he's in form. He's in form.
Yeah, but it's against City, which is a tough fixture. But we're back in form fixture. I don't know.
I mean that's the thing. You're talking about getting. I mean, both highly priced forwards. One's in form, one's not in form. And you're taking that out an informed play. I know the fixtures. Probably. So it's form over fixture basically, and it's tough. It's tough. Do you go with the trusting Conte and the bounce and everything like that? Interesting stuff. So do obviously keep tuned to Nitro and his Twitter page because there could be some activity there just before the deadline. So both these guys, you got to keep refreshing that page. We're going to go to the next question. It's FPL Dog Boy 88. DG Boy 88, whatever, however you want to be called. I have a question. Should I replace Gelhardt with Broja for free? Play Broja and bench Mount since he would only get odd minutes, or replace Mount with Jota since Bobby is out? That's a great question. It's something similar to what Zhou's facing actually right now. So we'll go to him first, Zhou. I know you're pretty much in a similar position. What has anything changed in the last few minutes in terms of your thinking?
I mean, like if you're comparing Broja or Jota, I would definitely go for Jota because I think he's nailed. He should be nailed to start. Whereas Broja, I think he's just back from injury. There are rumors that he might start from the bench since Armstrong and Adams didn't really do poorly against Watford. To be honest, they were really lively. They created so many chances, and it's just not their day. Although yes, they did won 1-0, but they could have easily 3-4-0 easily. Had them. I mean, had they took their chances better than what they did. So I think I would go for Jota instead of Broja.
Okay, Jota ahead of Broja.
Broja's play?
Striker.
Sorry, Craig.
Yeah, striker.
No, go for it. Striker.
Play striker as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's fairly cheap.
5 million.
Pretty cheap.
5 million, yeah.
Yeah, I would go Jota as well because now that you've mentioned that Broja is a striker, Jota is out of position, provided Bobby is out. So it feels like the move that makes the most sense, at least for me personally.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. We'll go to the next question. Wanzo Helmi, just on that Spurs Conte discussion. Conte formation playing start is similar to Tuchel with Chelsea now. So that's now. That's with two up top. I'm guessing with Havertz and Hudson-Odoi in recent times. So yeah, we could see Son and Kane up top. So yeah, I mean Kane, Son, that whole debate continues, I guess. And Teacher backs that up. The 2-3-5, 5-3-2, I think is what he meant to say, is what Conte is trying to pull off. Just going through it. I feel sorry. Dogs getting snacked in the morning.
Bro, my dog kept barking,
dogs.
Man.
no dogs getting snacked in any morning. Swaying with his Chelsea expertise, says Zhou is a very short-term pick, definitely 100%, and it would have been just a 1-week punt if needed. I think we just touched on this a little bit. Zhou did a monster analysis on Southampton on Twitter. Does Broja deserve a start? Now that's a little bit different. Broja, bang on form, I think, just prior to his injury. But as you said, Armstrong and Adams didn't do too badly in his absence. But does he deserve a start, Broja?
I mean, yes, he deserves. I mean, I think prior to his injury, he scored like 2 goals in 2 games, and really important goals as well. So does he deserve? Yes, I think he deserves a start. But will Raf actually put him straight back in after his injury. So that's the main question. But I think probably personally, I think Broja will probably be on the bench, and probably if they need that extra man in attack, he will probably come in. I mean, this is at least this is hopeful. I'm just hopeful being an Armstrong owner, So, he deserves a start, but will Raf race him? Probably that's a different question altogether.
Yeah,
I can see why Broja is getting the attention because there's the Villa game this week, which I think will tell us how the condition of him right now, whether or not he starts or he's played as a bench or not, like completely. But then the game week after, in game week 12, he's playing Norwich away, which if you can get him early now, and you're set for game week 12, right? And if he does play, then that's a pretty good game to take a punt on Broja, right?
Yeah.
Where's Mark when we need him? Where is Mark when we need him?
Where's Mark? Or Southampton guy.
Our Southampton expert. Nowhere in sight today for this show, unfortunately. He'd be perfect actually to follow. I don't know what his Twitter is, but he's somewhere on it. I'll get that out. If you want some Southampton expertise, let me just get you. The boys can keep talking about Broja if you can while I find his handle.
Yeah. I mean, right after though, game week 12 is the one that looks really good.
Yeah,
provided he plays against Aston Villa.
I mean, to be honest, Villa did look poor. I think past few matches they let in quite a number of goals, and I think Konza is also out due to suspension. So, and they are playing at home, so they would definitely want to go for it against Villa.
Yeah, if you want more Southampton expertise, you can follow Mark at FTBL_Mark. That's at FTBL_Mark. He does some really good stuff on Southampton. He joined us last week or the last couple of weeks, and he did tell me to start Livramento, and I paid for it. So by not listening to him, it's not good. But his analysis and his things are pretty accurate. So do give him a follow if you want to know more. I think we're okay there with Broja. Does he deserve a start? Yes. Will he? Another question. Amat Shami says, what to do with Azpi? Currently, I'm tempted to hold the transfers so that I can have 2 free transfers during the international break. And do I captain Vardy? It's a big ball move. It definitely is if you're going against Salah. I've paid for it once already this season. But boys, 2 questions here. What does he do with Azpi? And does he captain Vardy?
Depends what the bench looks like. At least, yeah. Might need more info.
Yeah, a little bit more info on your team, Amit Shami, if you can. Drop it down below and we'll come back to this question. Tell us who's on your bench, or if you can, just give us your full team as well as your bench, and the boys will do their best to try and give you the best advice that they can. I'll scroll down and I'll come back to this as long as you update us on who you got in your team and on your bench. Teacher says, you guys look well equipped to answer the question I put on Twitter. I'll come to the Twitter questions in just a while once I finish these ones. Should I bench Azpi for Livramento? Here we go, boys. This is the Livramento debate comes up again. I mean, it's a dilemma, should I say, because I have this every week now that he's literally returned in the last 2 weeks. Do I play him or do I not? And I've got a similar one to this, to be honest with you, this week. But boys, I'll leave this with you.
I think personally, I would play Azpi. I mean, Livramento. Yeah, I mean, he was really lively in the attack. And then I think last game week, we got the points from him through a clean sheet. But this week, I think this Villa side actually is not too bad in terms of attacking. I think Watford was definitely poor last week. I don't think they had that many chances. I think Southampton practically dominated the whole game in terms of possession, and Watford, I think, relied more on counters. But I think this Villa side will probably give them a better fight. I think in terms of clean sheets, I think as compared to Watford, I think the clean sheet percentage for me, I think would probably be lower this week. So in Azpi, I think he if he plays against Burnley, I could see more chance of a return there as compared to Liverpool.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say the same thing because, yeah, if Azpi plays, he's probably gonna return somehow because of Burnley. It's a great fixture. He would probably be playing behind James in the center back position. So I think we're looking at a clean sheet. Assist if we're lucky, but I think mainly the clean sheet. The reason we play Azpi is because if he doesn't play, I think there's only one instance of Azpi coming off of the bench when he plays 26 minutes. Unless that's an injury, an early injury. But it looks like if he doesn't start, he doesn't play. So if you play him and he ends up not playing, then Livra can just come in as an auto sub. So I think we don't have to worry about that. I would probably go Azpi as well. Wait, hold on. You said bench Azpi, so?
No.
Oh, no. Sorry, start.
Oh, yeah, I would start Azpi for that reason too, because then Livra can just come in if Azpi doesn't play.
Okay, Swen's got a bit of a. He's got two questions actually. He's got one question. He's got Raya. What does he do with him? Not too sure who his other keeper is, but does he keep? I mean, Raya's out for a long time, isn't he? So
he's out for a long time, so he's definitely worth getting rid of sometime soon.
Yep, and he said he's starting Armstrong ahead of Antonio. Wow. That's well. I mean, I'm benching Antonio as well. I think this week, haven't decided yet. Still tossing the coin on that one. But let's go to this goalkeeping situation first. And obviously Raya, 4.5. There are a few decent keepers for that price around, aren't there?
Yep. I think if you look at keepers,
around the 4.7-ish price range, right?
Yeah, I think with the price increases on a couple of them though. I mean, Sanchez, I'm not sure what he's at.
You have Sanchez. Sanchez is 4.6. You have Guaita 4.5. McCarthy 4.5. Ramsdale has risen up to 4.7. I think in terms of fixtures, Guaita is actually not a bad shout. And then with all those Sanchez hype, actually Guaita is sitting 1 point higher than Sanchez at the moment. But then again, Sanchez fixtures are not bad either. But it's just that I think Sanchez, he don't really do that many saves, in games, whereas Guaita overall, I think does more
save points
in terms of number of saves, and that translates to save points. And Guaita is cheaper by 0.1, if that's something that you need to look at. So I mean Sanchez is definitely the safer pick, so to say, and then especially if depends on what defense you have. If you have a Brighton defense, probably it's better to spread out that risk. But I don't think you not have any Palace defense, so probably Guaita is someone that you can consider. Ramsdale's fixtures are getting slightly tougher. They have, I think, Watford now, and then after they face Liverpool, and then after that Newcastle, and then after that they face Man United and Everton. So a bit tricky to maneuver. It's between Guaita and Sanchez for me, if you ask me.
Yeah, same. I think it's between them two. Both of the fixtures look really good in a relatively long term, so you can just buy and hold for a little while. Uh, I'm a bit biased because I have Sanchez, but I do get the point. Guaita's up by a couple more saves, so he does get a couple more points from the saves as well. I would trust.
And this Palace team ain't too bad either, is it?
The Palace team has started to look a bit better. They used to be
Yeah.
the team that we could kind of captain against,
Yeah,
but now they're looking all right. So it's kind of tough. Yeah, Sanchez definitely the safer option. Guaita's not a bad shot though. And with goalkeepers, like I feel like I don't know personally, don't think too much about goalkeepers. If they play, right, and they're decent, it's fine. So Guaita or Sanchez.
Yeah. Okay. Narrowed down to 2 for you, Sweng. He's done it. He's done Mount for Jota for free. Didn't want to risk Broja coming off from the bench. So there you go. Advice listened to. Let's see if it pays off. Ahmad Shami has come back. He says Diaz, White, Livramento, Azpi, and Trent that he has. I don't think they're on his bench though. But we'll go back to his first question, which was here we go.
It was
What does he do
what to
with
do with
Azpi?
Azpi.
Currently, I'm tempted to hold and I can have 2 free transfers and do a Captain Vardy. So let's start. I mean, this is really focused on the Azpi question. What does he do with Azpi? I mean, just going back to his team. Where is it?
I think he can play Azpi.
Yeah, so he's got Diaz, he's got White, Livramento, Azpi, and Trent. So he's got at least 3 good defenders there, or 4 if he needs to.
Yep.
So it's a pretty strong defensive line, if you ask me.
Yep. Yeah.
Diaz, White, Livramento, Azpi.
I mean, he
and
can.
Trent.
Yeah, I mean, White's got a decent fixture against Watford as well.
Mhm.
Livramento's one against Villa isn't too bad either. He can afford to hold.
I definitely he can afford the hold, and I'm not sure Captain Vardy.
He missed the penalty midweek, didn't he?
Yeah, he got subbed in and missed a penalty.
Yeah, I know. Lost me a bit of money, that did.
So I'm probably not too sure whether this week is still a good week to go against the crowd, unless you really need to chase up the rank. If not, captain the safer option, and let your differential players do those climbs. That would be my advice.
Okay.
It's a really big ball move. I feel like going against Salah would be. It's gonna make your weekend really tough. Just praying he doesn't do it too badly. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. I've been there, mate. I've been there. I know exactly what you mean.
I think to protect the rank, maybe leave it on Salah or someone. Vardy isn't bad though. It's just he hasn't given us the spark.
Well, Leicester haven't been great recently, have they?
Yeah. I don't have the full confidence, So.
Yeah. Whereas Liverpool is still spanking everyone right, left, and center.
Right. It's hard to ignore.
Okay, we're going to go to the next question. Prab is joining us. Prab, nice to see you on here. Haven't seen you for a while.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's been too long. But yeah, hope to have you on the show sometime soon again. Emerson Royal or Reguilon from game week 12. Now, we kind of touched on this just now, earlier on in the show. I think the consensus was we're going to wait and see. It's a small sample size, given that it was just yesterday's fixture. So we will see how this Everton match pans out for Spurs. And I don't think it's only on the fullbacks, is it? It's the team as a whole, and your Kanes and Sons, and how they're going to work and operate, and who's going to be the better pick. So quite a few decisions there. But just based on what we've seen so far this season, based on what we saw last night, who would you be leaning towards if you had to pick now?
So I saw a really nice, nifty little thread on Twitter by Baker343, not big man, but his Twitter handle is at it's Baker. Why did I say Baker? Oh my God. It's almost
it's your Asian side kicking in there.
Oh my goodness. It's Baker as in Baker FPL 343. He wrote a thread on things he noticed as a Spurs fan watching Conte's first game. It's on that midweek game. And he mentioned, obviously, remember everything, small sample size. It's one game, a lot happened. But something to keep in mind, he mentioned that Royal got man of the match and he got in very high positions, missed an opportunity, felt like Reguilon was tired. Now, again, only one game, small sample size, but Emerson is 4.9 compared to Reguilon's 5. It's not a huge price difference, but I think a huge differential too, right? 0.2 ownership compared to 9.3. So,
well, I think they both, whichever one you take, it's going to be quite a differential.
Quite a differential at this point. That's correct. So, I think Reguilon would be safer because he might be more. Oh, I'm not very well versed in the Spurs team. I'm not gonna lie. Because we got Doherty as well, who could play.
But Doherty, you could play at right back. You've got Tanganga as well.
But I think Emerson, ever since he joined, he played every match.
Yeah, I think he's been featured. I think on the left-hand side, when you look at it, Ben Davies had a bit of a horror show against United, didn't he? And then I think the other option will probably be Sessegnon, and I think he's injured or something like that. So, I don't know if Reguilon has a lot of competition, but I mean, he could play Ben Davies in that position as well. So, probably leaning towards Emerson, if anything. But it's one of those because Reguilon, 2 seasons ago, was the best left back in La Liga. Bobbing forward at every opportunity, whipped in a great ball, and it just hasn't happened for him at Spurs so far. I think he started all right, but it just didn't work out after a while. So anyway, we'll move on to the next one. Emerson for now, if you really need to know, Prab. But again, small sample size. So let's. It's only for game week 12, so you'll have the Everton match to have a closer look at things. Let's see.
Yeah, it's pretty hard because we don't have much to work off of.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everything's just a guess right now, you would say. FPL teacher, just on that goalkeeping situation, he did Raya to Sanchez, so I think that's a decent one. One's a Helmy. Which one should I do the transfer? Schmeichel out, Ramsdale in, or Gray out, ESR in? I only have one free transfer. Go for it, guys.
Not a fan of goalkeeper transfers with a free transfer, unless it's injured or I don't know,
something that he's looking at basically.
I mean, Schmeichel is playing against Leeds, and then after they're playing against Chelsea, Watford, and Southampton. I think I don't know. Personally, I usually would put my keeper right there, and then I just forget about it. So unless it's a free transfer to burn, I wouldn't use it on a goalkeeper.
Okay. I'm just going to follow up with his other messages as well. I still have Benrahma and Gray. Should I get rid of these both two? I think he's mentioned Gray twice. But Benrahma, I think right now is probably a keep, isn't it? Just based on form.
I don't think. Yeah, it's not too.
His mid is Salah, Havertz, Raphinha, Gray, and Benrahma.
It's not bad. Like
it's not. That's a decent midfield, to be fair.
It's not bad.
I mean, I would say obviously Gray and Benrahma don't have great fixtures this coming week, but I mean, Benrahma's in decent form. I'd probably start him playing at home as well, aren't they? West Ham.
Yeah.
And Liverpool, they are not the most sound in their defense as well. Like if you see the match against Brighton, especially the first goal, it looks like something Benrahma would try from range. So
but the only worrying thing is that 90 minutes midweek.
Tired. Antonio started as well. In the midweek.
Yeah, he did.
So it seems to be taking a toll on the West Ham team, both attacking and defense.
I actually watched that match, and West Ham got played off the park. I watched the first half, and how West Ham didn't concede more goals is beyond me. I mean, oh god,
Yeah.
it was ridiculous. Areola had to save a few at point blank. They hit the post on one of them. It was crazy. I mean, I've never seen West Ham being outrun and outworked like that. This season or since Moyes has taken charge.
I think as I said, like being involved in the Europa League is really taking a toll on this team. So, yeah, I mean, that's why you probably want to captain Salah this week.
All right, good stuff. So just go back on this. Keep the free transfer. Take Gray out. Take Schmeichel out. Which one does he do?
I would probably lean to keeping the transfer, to be honest.
I would hold as well, yes.
Yeah. So get 2 free transfers after the IB, yeah?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. FPL Dog Boy 88 again. Which player to bring in after international break for attack and defense perspective, I think that's what you meant to say.
Maybe perspective.
Is that a word? I'm not too sure if it is. But basically, one player to bring in after international break for attack and defense. I'll let Nitro handle the defense and Zhou you can handle the attack.
I mean,
obviously we need a bit more information, but keep an eye out on Spurs because, as we've mentioned, if Conte doesn't go too out of range, we could see Emerson and Reguilon get involved in the attack. And also the fixtures look pretty good defensively. Norwich at home is the one you really want to have a Spurs player for. So I think defensively we can look at Emerson and Reguilon. But like I said, it's only like the one game sample size we're really gonna get. So we'll just make do with what we have.
Okay. Someone's mic.
Hello.
Yeah. Is that your mic?
Is that my mic?
Yep. I think so.
What happened?
I can just hear it's getting muffled and there's a lot of movement on it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I can hear you. It's fine. Just a bit muffled. Okay, so for defense, we definitely want to get a Spurs defender in for those beautiful green fixtures that are coming for Spurs. Small sample size though. And Zhou, in attack, are we going for Spurs?
I mean, Spurs is definitely
the one to target.
A no-brainer in terms of after the IB. Like if you look at the fixtures, they're just all green all the way. So definitely Spurs is one of them. I think another team you might want to consider is probably Palace as well. I think their fixtures after the IB is not too bad either.
Touching on Palace, we never cover them enough. From an attacking perspective, who would you be looking at? Edouard has looked good. Benteke seems to be scoring goals. Olise looks good. I'm not too sure when Eze comes back or if it's anytime soon. Zaha. They've got a few options there. Who would you be targeting?
I think last week I mentioned Benteke. Unfortunately, he got benched at game week 10. So I think, if you look at nil options, Gallagher is definitely up there right at the top. Along with Zaha, these two are probably the players I would look at. Edouard, yes, he starts regularly, but it's just somehow his goal seems to dry out.
It's because he doesn't really play up as a striker, does he? He's classified as a striker, but he's more towards the left-hand side.
Yeah, the wing.
Yeah.
So in terms of players to target, probably Gallagher and Zaha. Eze, I think if I'm not mistaken, he started I think for the reserve team or at least the under 23 team. So he's slowly gaining that match fitness. and it's just waiting for his time to actually finally starts in the team. I think EPL states that he expected to be back on 20th of November due to lack of match fitness. So I think he should be back really soon as well. Olise is still slowly, coming off the bench and doing his bits, from the bench. I think it's just, we just had to wait and see whether he gets to start
into that side. Yeah.
But definitely, sooner or later. But if you're talking about right now, Gallagher, I think, definitely a value pick. Still only 10.9% owned, which is relatively low. Zaha is only 6.8, so he's also another good option to go for, and he takes the penalties as well. So yeah, Palace is probably the other team I would look at.
Yeah, Spurs and Palace are the ones to be looking at. Hope that helps you there. Mr. Ali says, hi lads, have Kane already to sell Antonio plus and Raphinha for -4 for Son and a 4.5 striker. Game week 12 or space out hits on. Jeez. Hi lads, so he has Kane already. I think he's asking, should he sell Antonio and Raphinha for -4 for Son and a 4.5 striker? Not too sure. Game week 12 or space out hits on fringe players and gets Son. Okay. I think that's not Awar. As in rank. Or space out hits on fringe players and get Son in game week 13 and 14 and keep Raphinha and Antonio. Good question, to be fair, because Raphinha's fixtures aren't too bad. Antonio, it's always got a goal in him, it seems. But how badly does he need to get Son into this team for a hit?
I mean, if you're looking at bringing Son in on game week 12, the problem is you'll be bringing in a 4.5 striker, and I don't think we have any 4.5 strikers that starts. So if game week 12 is not exactly a must, if you ask me, in terms of Son. Yes, they face a lead side at home, but their fixtures after game week 12 is still pretty decent. Away to Burnley, at home to Brentford, and at home to Norwich. So still a lot of good fixtures to go for. So I think if I would probably space out those hits, because once you bring in a 4.5 striker, you'll be stuck with him, and if you need bench cover, you won't get it from a 4.5 striker.
Yeah, I would also space out the hits, because I feel like, I know the fixtures are tough, but we can also back the stats for Raphinha and Antonio. I think they still have it in them to get the odd goal here and there. And I think the value as well is really good. So I would definitely space out as well. And like Zhou said, 4.5, I don't think we have any viable options. So it's just not worth it, I don't think.
Yeah, okay, good stuff. Vincent asks, what's up, you legends? Azpi and Dios to Chilwell and James, then bench Livramento, or just make one free transfer and play Livramento so I have 2 free transfers for the international break? Judging what you boys have said today, for me it's a no-brainer, but yeah, let's hear what you think about this.
Probably the latter.
Yeah. 2 free transfers?
2 transfers, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think the Azpi the Azpi to Dias and Chilwell to James, I wouldn't say it's a sideways move. I think
it's pretty upside.
It is. There is a lot of upside. And James rested midweek. No Alonso. I mean, they're both surely nailed on to play as well, right? Are we that confident Azpi plays?
I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, I think in terms of the foresight, I think definitely keeping the 2 free transfers would really help. And Livramento is just as decent of a pick. So.
Yep.
Okay. That was easy enough. Nice and easy. Save the 2 free transfers for the international break. Just before you leave, I better say this. FPL teacher says, thanks for answering my questions, guys. Zhou, if you guys do tweet it one, let me know. Good night and all the best. Boys, do tweet it out if you are going to do a late night one. I'm going to go straight on to the questions that were posted to us on Twitter when we posted out that we were going to do a show, and got some good ones actually. At FPL_Moninho. I love that. Absolutely the quality that is. Moninho. Advice on order of bench. Too many bench points and haunted by weekly Livramento. I have that same problem as you. His team is basically. You guys can look at your Twitter as well.
I think Craig, you can I'm sharing it now.
Are you sharing it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, nice, convenient. Thank you.
Nice one. Perfect. So, that's the team. You got Ramsdale in goal, Trent, Chilwell, and Cancelo at the back. Nice back line there. Havertz, Salah, Foden, and Smith Rowe in midfield. Toney, Huang, and Vardy up front. It's a good team. That's a very good team.
Yeah.
And his bench is Livramento, Townsend, and Duffy. I can't see anything that he needs to change, to be honest.
Even the bench is quite all right,
Yeah.
Could even bench Bruce if you want,
Yeah.
All his bench are playing at home.
Yeah.
And two of them are good fixtures. Well, two of them are good fixtures.
I really like this team, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too.
I can't think of anything that you'd change.
I would back the 3-4-3. I would back what it is now. And if Livramento...
Sorry, his question, sorry, boys. His question, I just read it again, was advice on the bench order. So basically, does Livramento be the first sub, or will it be Townsend or Duffy at Newcastle?
I would probably put Townsend first. Just a personal thing.
Because of a attacker, right? Back the attacker.
He's not just an attacker. He takes all the set pieces. And he takes set pieces, and he's playing Spurs and
I think something that's really good for Townsend actually is the fact that Richarlison's back. They actually have someone that can put the ball in the back of the net. I think the last few weeks they've been playing with Rondon up front, and he's clearly not up to the standards of the Premier League anymore. Not that he ever was anyway, but Richarlison, it's a good player there. He puts his head on things. He's good, with his feet, and I think Townsend needs someone like that in the box. That's really gonna, has that ability to put the ball in the net. So you put Townsend as first sub?
Yep.
Okay, Townsend first, Livramento second or third?
I would go second, just off of form.
Yeah.
Livramento second. Okay, so order of the bench would be Townsend, Livramento, and Duffy. All right, I hope that helps you out at FPL_Moninho. Love it, absolutely love it. Just going to go through to some of the other questions. I think, Zhou, you've answered a couple on here, haven't you? So I don't think I have to, but we'll still go through it. Zhou did all the answering on here. Thanks, Zhou.
I think I put it up.
Okay.
The next one.
I think Simeon tweeted in as well. He said bench 3: Jansen, Livramento, Cancelo, Foden, Mbeumo, ESR, and Antonio.
Bench 3.
So you got
Jansen and Livramento would be the first two.
Yeah?
I think so. The third one...
Jansen's Brentford, so he plays Norwich.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Jansen, though.
Livramento's obviously got Southampton. He's got Villa. That's a tough one, actually. I'm looking at that now.
Because he has Mbeumo.
Right? He has Mbeumo, yeah.
So I would definitely play Mbeumo for sure. So that's the Brentford cover. Oh, no, he does play Norwich though.
I think I think we're going to see a lot of Antonio benches this week.
Yeah.
He's going to be first out of the bench because of that Liverpool fixture, and some teams have got really tasty fixtures.
Oh, this is a tough one, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
You see, normally I would bench ESR, but the fixture against Watford is what's making him a lot.
I mean, like if it's anything like last game week, it's going to be a feast.
Yeah.
I think
if it was up
Jensen,
to me-
Livramento, and Antonio. I think.
Yeah, that would be mine as well. I was just going to say, I think that would be mine. Although Jansen against Norwich though.
I know.
I'd probably be only doing it just because he's a defender. That will be the only reason that I do it. Yeah, but that's
easy to bench.
defenders.
I think I've read reports that the goalkeeper that came in for Raya had a shocker. So.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I read the last game week. So probably Jensen definitely bench Livramento. I would probably bench Cancelo.
Oh, really?
And go like for all the attackers. It's just an attacker over a defender thing for me.
Yeah. But then he can't. I don't think he can bench 3 defenders, right?
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, exactly.
Because then he'll only have 2.
Yeah.
So out of Jansen, Livramento, and Cancelo, he's got to bench 2 at least.
Yeah, that's true. So Jansen, Livramento, and I don't know, coin toss.
It's got to be Antonio, right? Surely.
Not really a fan of benching Antonio, to be honest. I don't know.
I'm playing him. I know how you feel.
Yeah.
As crazy as this. By the way, Livramento is trending, top trending.
Yep. As
that is amazing. That is amazing, man.
probably because of FPL.
Oh, this guy's a legend. Okay, well. Look at him, he's trending. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah.
All right. I've just seen possibly one of the best questions that we've ever been asked, and I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Joe's seen it because he liked the tweet. I don't think he replied to. I don't know if you replied to it. Teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very technical. It's a long one, but let's try and not be too long in the answers. And I mean, okay, first one: do you embrace or try to eliminate your biasness? Whether that's towards a player or towards a team.
Embrace or try to eliminate your bias.
Eliminate is a strong word, I think. Eliminate is like get rid of all.
I mean, I'll be. I mean, like for me, I'm a United fan, and I've gone seasons without picking United players. But I mean, obviously, if they're ridiculously on form, like Bruno last season and things like that, you've got no choice. But like when you had. Back in the day when you had like Rooney and this and that, there were better options out there. I wouldn't go with a United biasness. So I'm able to detach myself from my team biasness. But I know
I'm an Arsenal fan, so it's easy for me.
But I know certain people we could go back to the Henry days. I know certain people that will never pick like if you're a Liverpool fan, will never pick an Everton fan or a United player. I know a few of those, and
that's crazy.
So you guys, I'm guessing, you don't really have that problem, right? You're quite open in that respect.
Yeah.
It's a good question, though. Come to think of it, I think I would definitely embrace because. Biases happen for a reason. It's because we collect stuff from previous data and try to form some sort of coherent schema about what the future might be. Hindsight is kind of annoying because FPL is all about hindsight. Oh, I should have just captained them. I captained that person.
Yeah.
All this, all that. And recency is a pretty good one because we look at form, right? We always look at the last 2 game weeks. This person's been turned in the old 2, right? So I do have a few biases. I don't know if they're called biases, but like kind of like
Biases,
tendencies.
yeah.
Like for example, back the attacker over the defender. If I'm ever
Yep.
stuck on a decision, I'll
Yep.
try and I just
Me
use
too.
go to like rules, unspoken
Mhm.
rules.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, if I want to go through each and every bias, I think confirmation bias, I quite rely on XG as well. Especially XG over 90 or open play XGs and things like that. And then usually I will pair it with the eye test. So if he really looks, if that player really looks good, and although he didn't score, but he racked up pretty high XG and looked good doing it, I would back him up. That's just personal decision of mine. And also attacker over defender when it comes to who is it to bench. That is probably one of my own rules as well. Recency bias, I think we are all subjected to that. Do we embrace or eliminate? I think there should be a balance.
Agree.
It really depends on for me. It depends on the eye test. If it really looked good, and how he performs this week. How he performs last week, and he looked good, and I do own that player. I usually would probably embrace it instead of trying to eliminate it. I'm more of a eye test over stats person. I use stats to back up my eye test instead of going just full.
But do you allow
stats.
that to affect your decision though?
Sorry, eye test.
Yeah. Do you allow the stats to affect your decision? So you watch a match, you think this player is bursting into the box, being in advanced positions quite a bit, right? But then you look at his XG, like you say, right, and it's not really there. There are better options in terms of XG ahead of you. Do you pick stats XG over eye test then, or do you stick to your eye test and go with that?
I usually prefer to stick with my eye test.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, and like what Nitro say, hindsight bias is really common in FPL, especially when you think a lot before the deadline. You consider this player, you consider this player, you consider that player, and once you overthink, and you build, especially in wildcard, if you build so many drafts.
Yeah,
definitely hindsight bias would hit you,
because you've obviously with the 100 drafts that you've done, you probably had every single player that's going to bang.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you eliminate that? I for me is I try not to overthink. I just stick to my decision, and then I just based on logical, based on team news, based on logical decision making. Like for example, I'm pretty set. I think even coming to the stream and throughout the stream, I think I'm pretty set on bringing in Jota. So if I don't bring him in, I don't know, could be a hindsight bias kind of thing, but I try not to overthink, because like Jota, he gets good XGs. He's playing out of position as a striker. He's really good at looking for those kind of pockets of space and put himself in really good positions for crosses and things like that. Great header of the ball. So based on these logics, I'll probably bring it in as well. So yeah. So
hindsight over stats for you. Eyesight.
Yeah, I test over stats for me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Last question on Twitter. Before we got a few more coming in here, and then we'll have to end it because it's taking about an hour and a half of your time, and I don't want to take too much more because I know it's a late one. But on Twitter, it was Armstrong or Iheanacho to replace Ings. Yeah. Will you take Armstrong or Iheanacho to replace Danny Ings?
Iheanacho.
Iheanacho?
I think Iheanacho. I think he has regained that starting spot, and I'm not sure whether maybe his minutes will still be limited with Dhaka, lurking for that spot. But I think Iheanacho's spot is definitely it seems more nailed as compared to Armstrong's. So if I were to replace Ings, I would go for Iheanacho instead.
Okay. Perfect. All right, we're gonna answer a few on the stream. Astrolicious, nice of you to join us. We did answer your question that you posed to us. I hope you caught it in time. Mr. Ali asks us, bench Duffy or Cancelo?
Duffy.
I think Duffy. It's easier to bench a 4-point-something defender than a 6.0.
6. Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on that. And FPL Dogboy 88, which team to avoid after that international break? But attack and defense perspective.
Well, definitely Norwich. Norwich would be a good team to avoid for now.
Avoid Norwich for both attack and defense. I think that answers that one.
I think Norwich, yeah. It would be.
I mean, Norwich is one of them. I think.
Newcastle?
Yeah, Newcastle.
I don't know about Newcastle because they could potentially have Eddie Howe in charge by the time game week 12 comes about. And, well, I do rate him as a coach, so there could be something that sparks something there, considering he's worked with a couple of those players already before at Bournemouth, so could bring them back to life. Yeah. Not too sure who else, but let's just leave it at Norwich as we move on.
I think maybe you could look to start ditching Everton players as well. Maybe West Ham players as well. If you're looking to avoid.
Have a bit of a tough schedule ahead, right?
Yeah, mix is a bit of a mix, but I mean this is where you jump off all these teams and go for teams that we recommended just now.
Okay. Will Azpi play? We've answered this. We're still unsure. We think he might not. But yeah, who knows? We'll wait and see. We're more confident that Chilwell and James start, if that is something that you're kind of asking indirectly. Astrolicious, if it was easy, I was not going to ask. Give us the tough ones. Yep, we settled on this. It was Janssen, Livramento, and Antonio. FBL Dodgeball says, I don't think Azpi will start. Tuchel likes to start Chalobah on the right centre-back position against teams who play with two strikers like Burnley. I quote from FPL Lens. Okay, so in answer to who just asked us that, Abinash, I think FPL Dodgeball has helped you out there quite a bit. And a quote from FPL Lens, who was very, very good with his analysis and his predictions. So, I'm not taking a risk. I'm still going to play Azpi with the hope that he does play. But yeah, oh well. 1 of 3. Fernandes not good enough compared to Ray. If Walker is out, Cancelo will be a monster versus United. Yep, we expect Cancelo to definitely start this game, especially with the news that Walker is out, because I don't think they have another right back. And yes, Livramento is the new Lord Lundstrom.
We found him, the new Lundstrom.
We found him. FPL Dodgeball, can Man U defense versus City without Varane around? Absolutely not, and that's me as a United fan. United will definitely concede a goal there. No clean sheet. So, stay away from Shaw or De Gea, whoever it is that you're considering. Let's see the last few questions. Swang agrees with you. Hindsight over stats. I think it was more
hindsight.
What about hindsight? I mean, hindsight over everything for sure.
I mean, yeah, hindsight.
But I think what he meant was the eye test over stats. What's up, guys? Shamsul Sharafuddin managed to join us. I'm not sure how late in, but took a -8 for this game week 11. Who to captain, Son, Salah, or Toney? We touched on this earlier. Don't think it's a time to risk anything. Everyone's going Salah. Stay on the Salah bandwagon. We all in agree with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreement with that? Yeah. Yeah. So not a time to permacap Salah. Ooh. Bit hard to say. Don't know about a permacap, but he's getting there. I mean, he's getting to those kind of numbers, isn't he? Where it's literally, let's not even worry about it. But I will say this, then I experienced the flip side to this. I went, everyone captain Salah against United. I went Havertz versus Norwich, and if I had the same situation again, I'd do the same thing. For me, I don't think it was a bad captaincy. I mean, it was meant to be Lukaku. That's why I brought Lukaku in for that fixture. But he obviously went off injured. But if I had to do it again, I think I probably would, because the stats and everything tells you that you captain anyone against Norwich more or less, but especially when you're in a team like Chelsea as well.
That's a good point you raised, because 7-0 Chelsea against Norwich, and Havertz did not register anything. It's outrageous.
It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like I said, I mean, I would still do the same thing again. I would have no hesitation. If that fixture comes up again, United versus Liverpool and Chelsea versus Norwich, I'm captaining Lukaku all day long.
Fair enough.
I'm that confident he returns, but yeah, got burnt. But it would have been interesting to see. I think it would have been a lot more evenly balanced out if Lukaku was still there. I think a lot of people would have been torn between Salah and Lukaku for that game week. So I'm not sure about permacap Salah, but for now, I guess it is, because you don't have a lot of the big guns. But it'll be interesting when United's fixtures turn after the international break. I think it is, because Ronaldo might be getting a lot of there. Last question of the night.
Okay.
All these are targeted at Swing, by the way. None of us, right? These are for Swing. So I'll let him answer. I know he's on here somewhere, so we'll leave it to him to answer. And thank you for the tag and the shout, Vince. Yes, if you are watching, please do like and subscribe the video if you haven't, guys. I think that ends it for tonight, boys. 1.5 hours. Sorry it took so much of your time. I didn't think it would be that long, but I really, really did enjoy it, to be honest with you. And I hope all of you watching the live stream enjoyed it as well. It's game week 11. It's just 2 hours away, less than 2 hours. So sort your teams out. If you are in Asia, don't forget clocks have changed and all that, if you haven't realized already. So you still got a little bit more time to adjust your team. If you're coming to the tail end of the stream, do go back and watch it. There's some amazing stuff that Zhou and Nitro came up with. Definitely, if you want to dig your fingers into it and see if you should make that Son switch, if you should captain Vardy or captain Son, or should you bring Kane in. All of this is in the stream, so go back, rewatch the whole thing, and yeah, just let us know how it is. If you do like the video, do give us a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do it. And if you're not following Zhou at Zhou FPL, if you're not following at FPL Nitro, please do get onto their Twitter pages and do it, because they could be making some last-minute changes just before the deadline, and they have given me their word that they will inform you if they do. Is Joe going to make that Jota switch? I think he is. He's making it right now. And Nitro going to save a transfer, or is he going to take it into after the international break? We'll find out if you follow them on social media, on Twitter. And do follow me if you have a chance. It's at Craig Morais 11. Do follow the FPL Expectations account as well. It's at FPL Expectations. I think that's all the shout outs that I need to do. Boys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's been a great session. I really, really, really enjoyed it. It's a late night one.
I enjoyed it too.
To have you, Joe. I know your time is very precious, but I'm just so thankful that just before the international break, they've given you a break from work. So,
Yeah.
that's good. Thanks for having coming on, Joe.
No worries. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Talk about FPL.
Yeah, and Nitro with that amazing rank that you have right now, sitting at 3K plus. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible. Just smashing it out of the park this season so far. Thank you for coming on the show. Always a pleasure to have you on and to see your side of things and how you see the game. It's obviously taking you to great heights. So yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine as always. And yes, it's unreal that I'm at this stage, but it's all thanks to the interactions with you guys. And thank you everyone for coming on the show, especially the ones that come every week in, week out. You guys are great.
Perfect. And thank you guys. Yes, it was a late one, but do not forget, you got less than 2 hours to make your transfers. Get the tips from the guys, make your transfers, and thank you. May the FPL gods be with you, and let's hope for a massive, massive, massive Green Arrow week. Thank you. Enjoy your week. See you later.